Good morning again. So we've reached the 10 o'clock hour, and today we're going to be talking about outsourcing accounts payable with Copy Products and our CP Automate offering, which is the software side of our business. My name is Matt Smith. For those of you who don't know me, I am the partner and vice president at Copy Products, and some information on the slide here to get in touch with me. We'll jump right into it. I intend for today to be short and meaningful, and some information for your business that hopefully will be beneficial. So business process automation is based on how documents are moved, stored, and how the data is used within your business. Copy Products has overcome the paper and process challenges of your specific industry, department, or workflow faces. What that entails is secure electronic document storage, visibility of electronic document routing, increased collaboration on documents once they become digital. And then we have integrations with existing software platforms. We'll get into talking a little bit more later about how your accounts payable software becomes the final resting point for some of the data that we'll be bringing along the accounts payable process. So how we've gotten to where we are. Since our merger with AOS in 2017, Copy Products has provided industry-leading software solutions that automate accounts payable, among other business processes for our clients. What our software does is it helps clients maximize employee time by reducing redundant manual tasks, allowing staff to work on more efficiently on higher value tasks and propositions in their workday. What we've seen during the recent COVID-19 pandemic is access to physical documentation as well as office locations has become limited. Employees have also been increasingly more difficult to find. We're finding some high demand in requiring people in for an accounts payable process and application. And then what we've done with that, being innovative, is our business process outsourcing, which is known as BPO, is born as a service for us at Copy Products. So how we do what we do and what it means to you. Invoices come in a variety of different ways. Typically, we find them come as mail, email, and often we'll find them in a link to an email that we get in and then we download, right? From a business perspective, as an owner and someone that's involved in accounts payable frequently, we understand how those invoices come in, and we see those three avenues as the majority. So how the service works for you is mailed invoices get sent to a PO box that we manage in a secure facility for you. So what that means is our staff will sit and open those documents as they come in. So your staff does not need to open those invoices that come in via mail, and then we scan them, right? And we'll put them into a secure portal. So you don't need to scan or route them in a manual way for approval. I'll be a little bit redundant there because most of these things come back in the same ways. So the first time, to be very clear, the first time your employees, your team see those invoices, they are now seen for the first time in the accounts payable portal, which we provide for you. Emailed invoices get sent to an email address specific to your business. In most cases, currently, these emailed invoices get printed and then processed with the mailed invoices. So in a current process, what that looks like is we find most businesses are then printing that document as it comes in via email so that it can join the process with the mailed invoices. And even during COVID, we're also finding that instead of them being printed, they're being forwarded via email. What happens, and we've heard the effects of it now that we're more than a year into this, is invoices are getting missed because they're getting buried in staff email. So the first time again, they too are now seen in the AP portal for the first time by your staff. Downloaded invoices get downloaded, imagine that, by our staff, and then they're trained for this type of activity. And then time-consuming repetitive tasks are often a drain on employee staff time. It's really repetitive, very simple to do. So what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll hit those links, we'll download the invoices, And then again, during COVID, we're seeing some of those chains of email approval happening in the same way of email invoices and getting lost in the inbox during processing. So the third and final piece of downloaded invoices are also now seen in the accounts payable portal all at one time. So simplified, and again, to be very redundant, all invoice types are funneled into a single digital portal with critical details for your AP staff to process. When I say critical details, what I'm talking about is vendor name, due date, dollar amount owed, any information that's on that would identify that document so that your staff knows what they're looking at, and often mirrors how you would file that. And also some of the data is extracted that you would then put into your accounts payable software. And we'll get to that a little bit later in the presentation. So what does it mean to you and your team? So critical invoice data is received faster and gets processed faster with limited interaction from administrative staff. For ownership, full visibility to the AP life cycle. It's not only for ownerships. A lot of CFOs out there and operational staff need to see what a projected view of cash requirements are for cash flow purposes. So one of the things that I love about it, and we eat our own cooking, so we use this internally. And what happens for us is we can project our payments required over the next 30 days. Often, and prior to that process, we were looking at documents and we can't extract them until they're into our accounts payable software, but that's a little bit too late. So I can get a view of that AP lifecycle a little bit further ahead. Remote employees can code, route, and when I say code, cost code, account code, things like that, route and approve invoices from anywhere. So there's apps, there's an app that's involved into that portal, flexible. And then what that allows for staff is flexible work schedules. We're getting into that during a lot of COVID experience. And then as long as the work gets done, right? I put that there because that's my philosophy. Don't care when you do it, don't care how you do it. I'm going to get you accessible to that as long as the work gets done. We just need it there. And then the final piece in getting that data there faster, it just allows invoice data. So the statistic is it allows invoice data to get processed 72% faster to achieve early pay discounts. It's free money, right? That money exists from a lot of vendors out there. And if you can achieve that by getting your information in faster, a lot of times that will be a payoff for the business, almost like rewards for like a credit card, free money. So, the question here is outsourcing a good fit for you, right? So when we sit and talk, here's what we should evaluate together. Are you currently searching for AP staff or struggling with your AP process? Pretty understandable that people out there are having a difficult time either obtaining staff or in especially COVID, it's exponentially compounded how quickly people are adopting new technology. And are you struggling with that AP process? Because the process hasn't necessarily adapted as quickly as your business may have. But we have the tools for that. And are those tools a good fit? So are you looking for staff? Or are you struggling with a process? It's a really good place to start. If the answer is no, then we probably don't have too much to offer you. But if the answer is yes, we should talk. The others is, do you have intentions of growing, right? Or are you going through growth that may require you to hire additional staff? If the answer to that is yes, we need to talk immediately. That part of the interaction, especially for additional staff, as employees become more difficult to obtain, we have software that will automate that and services that will do it for you. And then do you maximize early pay discounts? Some people say, hey, it's not a goal for us, but if the answers to those are yes, absolutely. And then a little bit of like the in the weeds for those people out there that have answered yes to a whole bunch of other questions to be prepared for our initial interaction. We'll want to know how many invoices you process each month and from how many vendors. So we may process 4,000, 2,000, say 1,000, but from how many vendors is that? Is it repetitive vendors? And we just need to know that for purposes of processing those invoices. And then finally, what AP software do you use? So I alluded to earlier that the data that's extracted from those invoices or keyed by our team as they open the mail, that data can then get pushed into a variety of accounts payable packages. It really just depends on what you use. All the major ones out there, we certainly integrate with, and we do that with ease. The ones that may be like, yeah, we use this one and it's just for our business, or we had a homegrown solution in place, that's certainly worth conversation. And the answer is often yes, but something we would need to evaluate with you. So if the answer to those questions are yes, and you'd like to continue to evaluate what we can do for you a little bit more, we would schedule a brief 20 to 30-minute discovery call with your account manager, myself, and critical people involved in this process from your organization, right? Some people out there on the call may be new to us and you don't have an account manager, you currently work at CP. So reach out to me directly and I'll schedule time with you and your team. So I'm going to leave this slide up as it concludes the presentation of our accounts payable process for the moment. And I'm going to ask that I'm going to open the floor up to a few questions, if there are any. So if there's anybody out there with questions, please put them into the chat. So one's come in asking about the scanning of invoices. Like, do you have to change to a PO box? And the answer is no. So we can provide you that portal. And if you want to scan your own invoices, we actually, if you're a current equipment client of ours, what we do is we program a button on that, and you drop your invoices into that device as they come in the mail, either daily, weekly, monthly. You just drop them in, we program a button, and then those documents go right into the portal. So that is a piece that can be removed if you're uncomfortable with the PO box being that location for your mailed invoices. By the way, public service announcement, anyone out there that can get your vendors to email you invoices, really great start, rather than individual emails for each current person, like, sue@yourcompanyname.com, to do invoices at, for example, in our internal process, we have an invoices at copyproducts.com. Right? Or accounts payable, or AP at copyproducts.com, so that you can centralize and you're holding that process based on that email. So you get them to email, that becomes the easiest way for us to manage them into the portal. So another question came in is, how do I get, this is a good one. So how do I get my old invoices in? And we're going to take that evaluation. If I go back a slide, I'm going to have to make sure that that there's value in doing that. We'll talk through that with you and your account manager. But what is that, right? So we don't want for people to have all of their information scanned in unless it's critical. So in most cases, you need to keep invoices for 3, 5, 7 years, depending on your business. And what we would do is tell you not to scan all the way back to 7, but maybe start fresh and scan back so that they're in the portal and they're accessible digitally, yet you don't need to go all the way back to the ones from 7 years, and they'll just phase out. It's a really good question. We always apply a value and a return on investment scenario to that question. Really good. Just gonna hold on here. I think there's another one. It looks like someone's typing it. Oh, you mentioned applications. Okay, it's another good question. So you mentioned applications, and what are those applications software-wise from an accounts payable perspective that we currently integrate with? So there's a laundry list of them. There's all the majors. So you're going to have any Sage product, any Microsoft product. We have a QuickBooks integration directly, so that data just pushes in. The ones that have been a little bit challenging, but we have ways around. And again, that return on investment is just huge. It becomes that discussion with us is we have a client with an old AS400. I think some people on the call may know exactly what that is, and some people may have never heard of it, but it's the old flashing blue screen, you know, the cursor there. And we have technology that can even integrate with that old technology. So kind of opens the door, but there are questions if you don't have a pretty standard out of the box accounting software. We just need to talk with you a little bit more about yours specifically and how we would integrate with that. And again, the conversation comes back to return on investment. Another question about the app. So the app itself is downloadable through either Google Play or Apple, the App Store. So the app gets downloaded, we sync it to your portal. Anyone from anywhere with a smartphone can look at their invoices, approve them, code them. So what that means for most employees, nobody loves working from their phone unless you're sitting on a beach somewhere, and you just have to get something done. But your phone has the ability to do that. Any iPad, anything that's connected to the internet or your phone service will be able to do that. We find most people want to access it via the web. So that secure portal is accessible via any of those methodologies. There's also a local client that can get loaded. We find that to be kind of the latter part of technology and how things are really being phased out. We're looking more towards the future and the web and some of those other technologies like the app and things like that. Well, that looks like it. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, impactful, hopefully for you folks, a quick 20 minutes here of what we're offering and how we're continuing to innovate for our clients. We want to identify that solution with you. So again, reach out if you have interest to your account manager, and certainly my information's on the screen. If you're new to us, we'd love to talk with you and understand a little bit more about how the accounts payable service from Copy Products is able to solve your needs. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for joining.